Hey everybody, this is Dr. Angie. Today I wanted to create a video talking about cholesterol. I have been getting so many questions of people being confused about cholesterol and how ketogenic diets and carnivore diets, how they don't create issues with cholesterol, and that's going to cause your cholesterol to increase. And actually that's not true, and science has proven that a ketogenic and carnivore diet can actually decrease cholesterol, which is so fascinating. We'll get into that in a different video. But I just wanted to debunk this myth about cholesterol being something bad for you. So cholesterol has gotten the bad rap because it's involved in plaques. And so I'm gonna talk about the physiology of how cholesterol was not the cause of those plaques. It was kind of in the wrong place in the wrong time and ends up being the effect of other things such as artery damage. So cholesterol is this big fatty particle that just kind of like bounces off throughout your arteries as it's traveling along, but it's not just sticking to the side of your arteries and creating a plaque. If you think about like butter, when it melts in your pan, what does it do? It kind of like spreads over. If you turn the pan side to side, you'll see how it kind of like runs to one side and runs to the other side. But it doesn't just like stick there and stay there and decide that it's going to manifest there and create issues. That's not what fats do. If you think about when you cook bacon, it's the same thing. The fats are fluid and they move and they change. So it's the same thing in our bodies. Fats and cholesterol, it's in our blood, but it's not just going to just stick to the side of the arteries for no reason. So what causes a plaque? And it is true, if you dissect a person and you open up a part of a plaque, it is true, you will find cholesterol in there. So, but how did it end up there if it doesn't just stick there? The problem is you had to have an injury. Some sort of assault happened to that blood vessel in order for this cascade to happen and have cholesterol there. So the two main causes of the assault to the artery is number one, diabetes or high blood sugar, and number two is hypertension. So hypertension, you get high blood pressure and it's expanding and contracting those arteries, and what happens is that when it's really high, it can create micro tears in the arteries, and that creates inflammation and the whole cascade. So the other thing is high blood sugar and diabetes, pre-diabetes. You don't even have to have diabetes to cause this damage. Just having high blood sugar will cause this. So if you think about blood sugar, and I don't know how many people know what sugar, the structure of sugar looks like, but it actually has very stark edges. And those edges nick the sides of your arteries whenever they're traveling down. So what happens when we have really high blood sugar, it creates damage to vessels all over your body. That's why people with diabetes, they get diabetic retinopathy, they get issues with their kidneys, issues with their fingers, they get neuropathy, retinopathies in your eye, they get issues in their brain, they get all the vessels anywhere in your body can be damaged by the high blood sugar. So what happens is that when you create that damage, whether it was from the high blood sugar or high blood pressure, you create the cascade of inflammation. And so then inflammation, our body's really smart. It sees, okay, something happened to our arteries, so we need to fix this. So it sends a bunch of cells to go and fix the problem, and thus creating inflammation, swelling, a whole bunch of cells are there. And then here comes our little fat molecule through our blood vessels, and it just so happens to get stuck in the mess. And macrophages, which are inflammatory cells, and they're trying to help clean up what's going on at the site, are trying to clean up the cholesterol at this point, and it creates foam cells, and then it thus creates this huge plaque on the side of your artery. And then our body tries to seal it off with calcium, and that's why calcium score is really important for cardiac health, but we'll talk about that in a different video. So that's how a plaque is created. So it wasn't that the cholesterol was just there and it decided to stick to the side of the arteries. Some injury had to happen, and then inflammation, and then it happened to be there. So the perfect storm has to happen. It's not just having cholesterol around. So with my patients, I target blood glucose and hypertension, stress management. Those are the two main factors I use for cardiac health. I rarely even check cholesterol because most of my patients have had it checked by a different provider. And I love cholesterol. It's the precursor to all of our hormones. Every single cell in your body requires cholesterol. Your brain is made of cholesterol. I love cholesterol. So I'm unconcerned about cholesterol. What I am concerned about is that blood sugar, and I'm concerned about hypertension. So there you have it. I hope that clears up some questions. We'll have more videos on the calcium score. We'll have videos on blood sugar and insulin regulation. So more to come. Have a good day.